Since I was a young lad, back in the year 2003, I know I'm very young, Top Gear was of course the main thing me and my dad used to watch. And in one of the reviews they did, they spoke about a coupe sports thing that Mazda produced that wasn't under the name of MX-5 or anything of that caliber. They made this, the Mazda RX-8, or as I like to name it, the last true Rotary. Now, of course, when I was younger, I didn't quite understand what a Rotary was or how difficult they are to maintain or run or even own. The fuel this costs me is ridiculous. Road tax as well is through the roof, and the government wants it off the road. However, it can go into London ULEZ free. ULEZ is a scam. And so I gave away my Mazda MX-5 for this. And you know what? I'm going to say this at the start of the video because I know there are going to be people who like MX-5s. This is better. I prefer them, that's my opinion. You can disagree with me, but if you have never driven one, you have never properly taken one around a track or experienced one, give them a bit of a chance because they will surprise you. Now, it's taken me a long time to make a video on this car, mainly because I've wanted to do it justice. Whether I will this video, we'll find out. Ownership over a year? Joyous. Joyous. This cost £500 and an MX-5. What it's given me, emotion-wise, memory-wise, friends-wise, is immense. And I don't think I can ever forget what a hero this car's been to me and my friends. You know, it gallivanted its way across Europe, and it really shouldn't have done. I remember telling Luke and Alex at Shedfest, next week it's going to the Nürburgring, and it did. It survived, it made it. And I've done nothing to it, apart from the rear brakes, which I did it before Shedfest, because they were down to metal. Alex, when you have a car, why is it that when I took this to Misha, he was surprised that it didn't leak oil? The scars you've given that poor man. People in a whole nother country were loving seeing this driving around, coming up and talking to us. We were at the, was the petrol station? Yeah, there's a petrol station that has loads of little models. We have to go again. And these group of lads came up to us and they said it was the Auto Alex RX-8 and they were amazed that it made it. And they went, have you done a rebuild? No. And they just walked away. But yeah, it did 3 laps of the historical racetrack. And I don't think I've ever been more proud of a car in my life. And it is here for me. It's in my heart. Before it was my Arctic Blue MX-5, but now it's this. If I ever look back on a good memory, it'll be with this. Because they are truly special. Now, what makes this car as special as it is the 1.3 litre engine, which produces 231 brake horsepower and no torque. Don't worry about the torque, that's not what an RX-8 is for. So, as you can see, it has K&N, because only the best for my sports car. It has a battery off a Citroen BX, I believe. And this battery somehow is not yet dead. It's come close. But as you can see, you've got the Renesys multi-side port. Now, if I remove that, that's how big the engine is. That's it. It starts after the crossmember bar. There. That's all you get. You get that. I love it. So small and petite and naturally aspirated, because I think these are less of a hassle to own than a RX-7. I might be wrong. Forgive me, I haven't owned an RX-7, therefore I'm not saying my piece on it. But I think in the modern day, when an RX-7 costs £20,000, if not more, which is ridiculous money, these are by far better value. You get the same experience, the same rotary feeling, the same 9,000 plus RPM, but you get a better chassis, a better built interior, a nicer running car, smoother suspension. This came before the NCMX-5. This is what birthed the NCMX-5, okay? So, and you know what? The NCMX-5 is a good car, and I really like it, okay? It's a very good car. And one day I probably will own one. And That's it. An RX-8 announces their presence with popping and banging and flames, and it's all natural. It feels so good when you change at around 6,000 RPM. This car loves it. You can go high and you can go lower, but I normally change around 6. And you get this almighty from the back. Sometimes you'll get a flame, sometimes you won't. But the smiles this car has given car enthusiasts as it's flown by on, I mean, done the speed limit on roads and through villages, and kids as well. You know, I was a kid when I saw this appear on Top Gear, and look at where I am. Financial debt, I've got too many cars, I can't afford to live. I'm probably going to lose my job at some point. I mean, come on, it's an RX-8. Everyone has a soft spot for them, as much as you don't want to admit it. From St. Neots to the Nürburgring, quite a long journey with slow roads, fast roads.
About 5 fuel stops.
The Autobahn. And I got 8 miles to the gallon. Well, 8.3. But if I'm honest, it doesn't really matter. It was dreadful. Literally, I walked out of the petrol station and went, I ran out of money. This car has drained me of finances. And I love it. Look at its face. Look at it, look at the face it has. She is a very happy girl. And I am a very happy owner. So yes, this car should be a write-off. A category car. Yeah, it would be a category car. So when we were going to buy this, I was informed that someone else was in the running. They'd already put a deposit down. I'd lost. And then the next day, I get a wonderful message saying, are you still interested in that RX-8? And I said, yes, I am, very much so. And he then sent me a picture of the damage. And I went, absolutely, I'll pay for that. £200 deposit, I'm on my way. Well, I didn't actually have enough money to buy the car outright, so I was saying to Lucas on the way there, kind of need to sell the MX-5 to this man. Yeah, and then I got this, which was informed to be one of the world's most unreliable cars. I don't believe that for a second. This thing will normally start, first time, every time. Sometimes on hot start she'll struggle, but every other time she'll be fine. Oh, I'm not going to lie about it, am I? You know, it's not been a perfect ownership, but it's been a good run, a really good run. This has been at Vulcan Alpha, where I had to fix the ignition coils that had blown themselves out of the engine, and I'd done 500 miles with no ignition coils in. I don't know how this thing was even running. But it did, and it has that charm of, will I start? It's the same as the Alfa Romeo. They've got this charm about them where you question whether you'll make it to your destination. So, the party piece I find for the RX-8 is not the engine, or the noise, or anything like that. It is the fact that in this sports coupe you can fit 4 adults with the best feature in the world, a door, and then another door. Look at that! You have space! Oh! Going from an MX-5 to this was just heavenly! You know, we travelled across Europe in this, and you know what? It was really comfortable. Really easy to just fit 4 people in. And, well, 3 people and luggage. And it actually became, this sports coupe became possibly one of the best Grand Tour cars you could ever ask for. My only downside, I'd have to say, is the seats aren't the best, because you can get Recaros, and I'd love to fit them into this. But I have this sort of feeling that if I were to put money into this, it would start just not working. The interior of the RX-8 is something very special, because you just have this lovely dashboard with all like this gloss black and Bose sound system stuff and a really lovely stereo. And you know what? It's an incredibly practical car. You can actually use this every day. I highly recommend that you do not daily a Mazda RX-8. They are not made for daily driving. Mazda are my favourite Japanese car company. The way they make stuff just makes me so happy, and like, I just agree with it. I just tried to close the door. I'd have made... There you go! Is it a boring colour? Yes. Is it a bad car? Yes, it's dreadful. but that doesn't make it. I like it. I really like it. It's just fun. One day I'm going to need to compare my MX-5 to this, and I bet we can all agree what the outcome's going to be. I'm taking the RX-8 any day of the week. When at the Classic Motor Show, I went back to the MX-5 Owners Club after not being there for like a year or two. I sat down and they went, "Oh, it's good to have you back. We'll get you all signed on and everything," because I had my MX-5 at the time. I still do. And he went, "So what's your favourite MX-5? And I looked this poor man in the eyes and went, "My Mazda RX-8. And not only that, we walked up to the Owners Club and they went, "Yeah, we know who you are." They didn't even like us. They were like, "Did you pre-mix it before going on the Nürburgring?" No. "Did you service it before going on the Nürburgring?" No. "Did you do anything before the Nürburgring?" No. "But it's here!" Neglect has kept this car alive. Now, the way an RX-8 handles is MX-5 but better. So it feels more alive, more active, more on it, more precise. It's a precision tool that you can use when you feel like it. So if it was a choice between this or an NC MX-5, yes, the NC is easier to live with. Yes, it's more reliable. Yes, it's all this and that. But I can't do that in an MX-5. There's just not a car I trust more than this. I trust that it will take me around the next bend at my rate of speed, at my ability. And if I'm about to reach that ability, it will let me know and it will go, "Mate, you're about to end it right here, right now." It didn't do that on the Nürburgring, but I was going beyond my limit, so all's fair in war. In an RX-8, you don't drive it normally. You change at 6, you change at higher revs. So the gearbox had to be nice because you're constantly going up and down. And because of that, it feels a lot nicer than a Mazda MX-5. And I'm sorry if you disagree with me, that's fine. The MX-5 is not a bad car, but the RX-8 is more special, more unique, it has more personality, and there's less of them. The reason I call this the last true Rotary is because we won't get this again. I might eat my words, but we won't get this sort of feeling of car anymore.
There's a Rotary hybrid.
That's not the same. A Rotary electric car is not the same as a Rotary sports car. And that hurts. Because Mazda bought an engine that should never have worked, and they meticulously worked on it to the point where it got where it is today in this car. But yeah, I feel sad when the last day of my ownership comes. The last day of this driving on the roads or it on track. We'll see our last sunset, Ray. We really will one day, but until then, I don't want to let this car go. I get very sentimental with my cars. I get very attached to them. I get attached to cars with emotion and feeling. I get attached to cars that have meaning and personality. This is a masterpiece. Thank you very much for watching. It has been an absolute pleasure. I hope we can all see Ray again in the future at some point. She will be going off the road for a little bit, but she will come back. I promise Shedfest 2025, and that's what I intend to keep. Oh yeah, like and subscribe, as all people should say. And until next time, goodbye.